Canadian dream is dying and we're seeing it firsthand. Get good grades, get a good job, stay there and be loyal, and retire by age 55, 60 with a good pension. Well,
got him!
We're not seeing that anymore. And what does this mean for millennials and Gen Zs? Oh, it's about to get 10 times worse. Let's discuss this. So as boomers are approaching post-retirement age, and what I mean by that, it's a nice way of saying you're so old that you have to go to a nursing home. Yeah, like beyond the wonder years and the golden years of living in your retirement, the reality is the boomers, our parents, are aging. Probably gonna start happening is we're gonna start seeing budget nursing homes. Now, of course, we have nursing homes that cost a little less, they're a little more basic, but like I'm talking super basic, super budget nursing homes. Because the reality is as we age, and if we're not doing anything smart with our money, which is what my channel talks about and we'll talk about at the end of this video, is that as time goes on, your money becomes less and less. Now, with the obvious being inflation, yes, goods and services cost more. I'm not only talking about that, I'm talking about the things we don't think about. Like if one of our partners passes, that's one less income that we're now getting. And now we're stuck paying for the entire apartment or the entire nursing home apartment on our sole income. And of course, as we age, we're not able to work those 70-hour work weeks anymore. Like that's not even an option. A 60-hour work week, even a 40-hour work week really isn't realistic when we're approaching our 70s. Now let's talk about the obvious cause of our money becoming worth less as we age, such as inflation, specifically housing inflation. So owning a home in Canada is no secret. It's crazy. It costs so much money, and even rent costs a ton of money. Now I kind of have an anecdotal story, but this applies to so many boomers and boomers' parents especially. See, a grandfather in my family, I'm not gonna say who, for privacy of course, but someone I know personally is in their 80s, their wife is already in a nursing home, and they own this giant, beautiful detached home. 2-car garage, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a typical nice house. Now the house is paid off, so that's no problem there. But if he were to downsize, which is what he needs, right? He can't take care of the entire giant house himself, the lawn, the snow, taking the leaves out of the gutters, like that's all out of the question. But he's a stubborn, silent generationer, which is what we're seeing across all the boomers as well. And they don't want to leave their detached home. This is my home. I own this home. I've been here 30 years, all this stuff. And only now he's starting to talk about, well, maybe I should downsize to a 1-bedroom apartment where I don't have to clean as much. Everything's smaller, it's easier, 1 level floor. And that makes sense. But when he started looking at the rent, a 1-bedroom apartment in our city is about $1,800, $2,000 for a nice one that is modern and 1 floor and looks nice. $1,800 to $2,000 a month. Now his house is totally paid off, so there's 0 mortgage. He pays the property taxes of about $250 a month, insurance of about $100 a month, and that's it for the hard costs. Now his internet, utilities, phone bill, etc., that would all be the same whether he lives at the apartment or his detached house. So financially speaking, especially being a silent generationer that like to pinch their pennies, he's thinking, why the hell would I downsize and pay rent and throw it away into the garbage? And it costs like 3 times more than just staying in the house I already own. It's totally paid off, but it's gigantic. I gotta clean the leaves, I gotta shovel the snow, which we're all saying, dude, you should just hire somebody to do all those things. It would still be cheaper than the apartment. But this is the reality of what we're seeing in the market. Now, if a retiring boomer or a silent generationer doesn't own a home and they've been a renter their entire life, this is the problem, which is the majority of Canadians are renters. They don't have the wealth. They didn't build up the wealth over time and own a home. So now they're paying $1,800 a month for this little apartment, but their pension maybe only pays $1,200 a month. And if one of their partners does pass, unfortunately, they're not gonna be able to afford that 1-bedroom apartment, let alone the nursing home, which is about $2,000 to $3,000 on average a month. See, this is where the problem is coming. And we're seeing more and more of it already, but as our aging boomer population ages into nursing homes, this is gonna be a dire problem. Now, the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing has launched a rent supplement program of about $50 million a year to help people who can't afford to pay their rent or their nursing home. But let's be real, $50 million a year for all of Canada, that's chump change. Okay, we're sending way more over to Ukraine.
Now, I'm not getting into that to this video.
But let's be real, we can afford to pay more to take care of Canadians who have paid taxes their entire life and have given to the economy. Now, even with this $50 million subsidy, it's probably still not going to be enough as the population ages. Now, throw inflation on top of that fire and having housing cost more, food costs more, everything costs more, it's going to be almost impossible. Not to mention the most important thing to boomers, and especially the silent generation, is lack of control. See, they weren't bred really to be renters. They want to own their asset. They want to own and be in control of their schedule. But as we age, we have to get comfortable with losing control, which is part of the reason I always talk about on this channel of why we're in a housing crisis even more in Canada than we really should be, is because that boomer generation, the typical generation that would normally sell off their bungalows and move into a nice little condo, buy a condo in Fort Myers for 6 months a year, they're not doing that anymore. See, the boomers are still working because they have to, and they don't want to leave that detached house, which would help to bring supply onto the market to turn it over to the millennials and Gen Z generation, but we're not seeing that. So we have an even more constrained supply of houses. Boomers don't want to leave their house. They don't want to rent. They weren't really bred to be renters. But with a lack of retirement planning for so many Canadians, not having enough of a pension or retirement fund, they would be pushed into renting a very, very low quality, low rent nursing home apartment or apartments. My channel is about pointing out all the realities and the doomsday stuff we're seeing in the economy and in the market, but also giving you a what to do. See, as a type A personality, as a doer, as an entrepreneur, but since I was literally 20 years old, I don't fit into the system, dude. I don't go along with things. I like to analyze, take in, and take action, and even expose loopholes in the matrix. And the biggest loophole you can do if you're watching this video, I bet you're most likely under 50, probably even under 40. Dude, you need to start investing immediately. As I talk to boomers, my parents are aging parents who didn't really plan for retirement properly and are now 63, 64, 65. Now they're thinking about retirement. Like, I don't want to work anymore. My knees hurt. My back hurts. I got to start thinking about retirement. But like, dude, you didn't invest anything other than like RRSPs, which is, I get the government told you to do that. That's like the worst investment ever. The best thing you can do is start learning about money, how it works, how compound interest works, and how to invest immediately, especially if you're in your 20s and your 30s. My God, time is on your side. Doing something simple as investing in the S&P 500 and holding that for 20, 30 years and just keep putting, as I say, $100 a week, $100 a month, whatever you can afford into the S&P 500. I don't care what it does. I don't care if we're in a recession, if we're in a war, if we're in a pandemic. You don't stop putting that $100 a week, $100 a month into the S&P 500. Do that for 20, 30 years. Dude, by the time you retire, it's going to be amazing. You're going to be way ahead than the RRSP junkhead who isn't going to be even anywhere near being able to retire. But if you really want to get ahead and really game the system, dude, it's all about real estate. You got to invest in real estate, which is what my entire channel is pretty much about and what I've done for myself. And I'm able to retire like 5 times over if I wanted to by the age of 35. Like, I don't got to work a day in my life, dude, but I love investing. I love growing my wealth, obviously. And I love shooting these videos and helping other people. But I'm telling you, investing in real estate is a matrix loophole that everybody kind of knows. Dude, everybody knows real estate is a great investment, especially those who can't buy real estate. And they're saying, I hope it crashes. It's going to crash one of these. Dude, it ain't crashing nothing. That boat has sailed and we're just about to go on the boom boom time. We talk about it on my channel literally every day. You guys know all the fundamentals. You know all the live data pointing to real estate going boom boom. But we still have people in the economy not understanding how money works. I mean, most of us go to work every day at our shitty job. We come home, we slap ourselves on the couch, watch Netflix. If you just spend 20 minutes a day watching YouTube channels like this, learning about money, learning about investing, in the course of 1, 2, 3, 5 years, you would be way ahead. Most importantly, if you're taking action on what you're learning, which is what most people absolutely don't do. So don't become a poor boomer or a poor silent generation. It's terrible that our seniors won't be able to afford a nice retirement with dignity. They're gonna have to live probably in these low quality nursing home, budget nursing homes. Don't end up like that. Invest in the S&P 500. That's for someone who knows nothing about investing. You don't gotta know anything except for, I'm telling you, put $100 in every single month. That's all you gotta know. Now, if you wanna take it to the next level and be an A-level person and move your life and your business, gotta invest in real estate. Learn the business, learn how investing works. I got all my videos on this channel, all my courses below to help you do that. Whatever you want to do, just learn real estate investing and don't find yourself in a budget nursing home without dignity. I'll see you in the next video.